Thanks for your support as a channel member, Dave Beasley.
Oh my, folks. The response to these first couple of videos in this series has been nothing short of mind-blowing. I'm recording this on Wednesday morning. It's about 10:30 Wednesday morning. So the first episode still hasn't been out 24 hours yet. We're closing in on 35,000 total views across the first two episodes, like 7,000 total likes. That is insane. Thank you so much for the support on this series. I'm really glad you're enjoying it, and I would really appreciate it if we kept the 1,000 likes an episode run going. So if you are enjoying the series so far, if you just want to continue seeing it do well, make sure you leave a thumbs up, because as I always say, it is the one thing that has the biggest impact on where it appears in search results, where it appears on recommended tabs. So if you want to help support the channel, like the video. Let's get to 1,000 likes again. It's mad, isn't it? Hello and welcome to part 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're going to be playing against Leamington and Southport in the Vanarama National League North. That's a Vanarama National League North that we're struggling in a little bit. As you can see, off the back of the Alfreton result in the last episode, we have really struggled. We finally managed to turn it around against York when I finally managed to get a goal out of Adam Marriott as well, who people keep telling me how great he is. I keep seeing on the internet how great he is in real life, but I don't think I'm using him right. I don't think I'm doing the right things with Adam Marriott. 2 goals in 6 appearances. He hasn't played very well at all. If we look at his form, you can see I've tried playing him as a target man, pressing forward, advance forward. Nothing really. So I guess he scores more goals as a pressing forward than anything else, but he didn't have many goals as an advance forward, did he? So I don't know. I don't know what he is, and I don't know how to get the best out of him. I am continuing to try my best to get transfers moving as well. As you can see, we're still hovering about £200 a week over our wage budget, and people have warned me there are stories of people just getting sacked purely for that in FM20. So I do need to be a little bit careful. I mean, at the moment, they're saying I'm on course, even though I'm over it. So they're happy with me controlling wages the way I am. Wages aren't running away from us, and I mean I am moving players out of the club to try and make that happen. Since the last episode, we've had one more player come in. George Danaher as another option as a striker, different kind of striker. Hopefully going to be someone who can come in, score a few goals. He's a little bit younger than the other two. He hasn't exactly been sensational yet, but fingers crossed, with time to develop at only 19 and relatively cheap. If nothing else, he gives us another option. But to be able to do that, I had to move more players on. So Nathan Stewart has left. He's gone to Tamworth. Ryan Hawkins has gone to FC United. And in probably the second saddest moment of the series so far, I've ruined a goalkeeping legacy here at Kings Lynn. We've made what's-his-face, Bastock, my assistant manager. I made him retire. I didn't give him the choice to sign a playing contract. And then the other fella who's been a stalwart of Kings Lynn over the years, playing over 350 games for Kings Lynn. He's played football matches less than a mile from my house. Deeping Rangers. I could kick a football from my garden and hit Deeping Rangers. But I've moved him on as well because we replaced him. So to be fair, he's gone to the Scottish Premiership, so he's not done too badly at all. Taken a considerable pay rise to go there. So Alex Street, it's not all bad, but over 1,600 appearances of goalkeeper have been moved out of the club. So, I mean, Brad Watkins really needs to be as good as I think he is. And he's conceding on average 2 goals a game at the moment. We'll be fine. So, we're playing Leamington first. We are going to be going with a 4-2-4. This might be the last time we do it. I had, in fact, started using this system because we were playing so poorly and losing so many games. So, the game against York, we started with the 4-4-2. But we were getting battered, and I switched to the 4-2-4 partway through and brought Marriott on. You can see I even dropped Adam Marriott. Brought Aaron Sibia and Marriott on and went to the 4-2-4, and we looked like a different team, and that's what got us back into the game. So that performance from those two and from the team in that game is what's convinced me to switch to the 4-2-4 again for today. But despite his good performance in the last match and being one of our better performers this year, I'm dropping Gash because I wonder if it's him who's stopping Marriott from playing well. Perhaps Marriott needs a different kind of player alongside him. So let's try Marriott and Danaher together. Gash can come on as an impact player if need be. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never operated on such a small squad. We've got no money and I can't bring players in. I need this team to be proper part-time with non-contract players so I can just start cycling through players on £5 a week. Home last year have ruined me. So we're going with Watkins in goal, a back four of Kenyon, Fryatt, Smith and Jones, Payne and Clunan in midfield. Henderson and Aaron Sibia are our wide players, Marriott and Danaher up front. We've got major issues here because nobody's doing anything in there. I mean, what do we do then? Do we drop him back? Does that take the major issue away? Some minor issues. But then this guy who's supposed to be a superstar goal machine is now playing as a support striker. So actually, let's drop him back to do that. Get him forward again. Maybe that's what we need to do to get goals out of Adam Marriott. I guess we'll find out in this game against Leamington, who, incidentally, if it hadn't been for the promotion of Kings Lynn, Leamington were quite high up on the list of next clubs for a starting club at one point. Let's give the fans something to cheer for today. They're not that much further away than Nuneaton, who obviously were the closest club to my house at one point, along with Alfreton. But we have got some local clubs who have been pushing for promotions in recent years to push Leamington further down the list, the likes of Kings Lynn, Kettering, Grantham. So Leamington, I think, we're a few years away from a Leamington start yet, but it's there. It's a possibility for the future. And they are coming at us early on, and I don't know, should we be going into these away games with a 4-2-4? I mean, it is a balanced system, but it does seem very attacking, even though it's not. But I guess it is a little bit. We've not really got much in the way of a midfield. We're 1-0 down already. We're just not very good defensively, and it is a problem we're going to have. Yes, we've replaced the goalkeeper that we identified as an issue, but we've still only got one good centre-back and one good full-back. Smith and Kenyon, awesome. Jones and Fryatt, and with no protection really in front of them. I mean, Clunan theoretically is playing as a ball-winning midfielder, but other than that one good performance in the last episode, he's not really winning the ball ever, which is a bit of a problem for a ball-winning midfielder. But we've just started really poorly again. Let's attack. Let's have some passion. Come on, lads. We won the last game with a fantastic, passionate, character-filled comeback. I'd like to do that in a video, please. It makes for good content. A boring 1-0 defeat in the rain, less good content. Right, Henderson, trying to get something going down this left-hand side, but nothing comes from it, and we lose the ball again, and it's over the top, and we're not really there to cover it properly. And thankfully, we're playing in the Conference North, and players shoot like that. Jake Kenyon, who was supposed to be my great hope, my superstar, is having a terrible game. Right, it's time to get aggressive, I think. I expect to see a much better performance in this second half. It's the first time I've shouted at these players. This guy needs to sort his life out. Maybe we'll go to 3 at the back and play him as a wing back. Maybe. I'm almost tempted to take him off. We've got Fox on the bench, who was the left back that he replaced. So we'll give Kenyon 10 minutes, and if he doesn't start to turn his performance around, we're going to bring Fox on down that left-hand side. Just because I'm furious at how poorly he's playing. Kenyon, ball forward to Aaron Sibia, who does manage to flick it on, looking for Marriott, but it doesn't quite get there. We're playing some lovely non-league head tennis now, and here's Kenyon again, trying to earn the ability to stay on the pitch. Big ball for Marriott, and Marriott hits the post. At least he's getting a chance, and to be fair, we are creating a lot of chances today. We're just not finishing them. It seems like a ridiculous situation to be in with Kings Lynn, where we haven't got a goal scorer, but it almost feels like that's the issue. We're playing reasonably well when it comes to creating chances. We're really poor at the back, but we're creating a lot. but we just don't have anyone finishing the chances. And I don't know what to do about Marriott to get him scoring goals. Let me know down in the comments if you've played as Kings Lynn yourself. What did you do to get Marriott scoring, or has he not been scoring? Is it just a case of he's good in real life, but it hasn't translated to FM yet? Aaron Sibia is in, and he has looked like a very good player for us so far. When he's not injured, he does stuff like that. It's a second goal of the season for him, and it's very well taken again. I'm close to starting to play him as an inside forward, because he is a left footer that we play out on this right wing. I wonder if that's the problem. Is that why we're not getting goals from Marriott? Because we've got out one of our wingers is basically not playing as a winger, and he's not getting any service. But that's not the case, because look how many chances we're creating, look how many shots we're getting. We obviously are creating stuff. Kenyon, by the way, did improve and has earned himself the ability to stay on the pitch. We're going to bring Gash on for Marriott and switch him to being a target man, because that's what he loves to do. And then we're going to take off Clunin and bring on Carey for him. Carey is someone who's actually on the transfer list for us at the moment. Payne is another one who I haven't really got the best out of yet. It's probably because he wants to be a playmaker, and we don't really have a playmaker in this system. I wonder if we switch up this midfield, always make it like the midfield we're using in the Manchester United save. I mean, it works for Manchester United. Why wouldn't it work for Kings Lynn? I mean, in isolation, a draw away from home against Leamington is fine. But then when you look at the league and you see that they're rock bottom, and then when you realise we've had a lot of poor results, you think, okay, we should be better than this. The media were predicting a second place just before the start of the season, which, to clarify, that wasn't the state of the club when I arrived. When I arrived, they were predicting 10th place. The media just loved my transfers, but they're proving not to be as successful as we hoped they would be. Fox will finally come on for Kenyon, and I'm going to demand more. Leamington are a poor team, and we need to beat them. Although, to be fair, just not losing. I would appreciate not losing an away game, but I do feel that we're going to lose, aren't we? They're going to score this free kick. Oh, this is hideous. Oh, I know Football Manager's not scripted, but oh, God, doesn't it feel it sometimes? 96 minutes, 96 and a half minutes on the clock when we were only supposed to play an extra 3 minutes. What on earth is that? I am not enjoying myself at the moment. Well, it's halfway through episode 3 and I've lost my mind. We've changed the system entirely. We've decided tiki-taka works with this is my new thing. If it works for Manchester United, it must work with Kings Lynn. So we're going with a tiki-taka, but no tiki-taka I've ever used before. I'm trying to play a formation that suits our best players. Our best players are Aaron Sibia, who wants to play in behind the strikers. So for goodness sake, let's let him do it. We need a 2-striker system. We've got 2 very good strikers, albeit they're not scoring. We need to get the best out of Payne, so let's get him in his best position. Our fullbacks are really wing-backs. Let's get them doing that. And we're rubbish at the back, so let's stick an extra defender in. I mean, I've got rid of the wingers. We're now asking something very different from Marriott and Gash than what we've asked so far, because previously it's been get the ball out of the wing, cross it in for them to knock in. They ain't really going to get much of that in this system. This is going to be more about carving out chances for them to run onto. We'll see, I guess. We're going with Watkins in goal, a back 3 of Macaulay, Fryatt and Smith, Kenyon and Jones as the wing-backs, Payne and Clunin in midfield as usual, Aaron Sibia behind Gash and Marriott. I mean, all we've really done, if you were just reading the team sheet, it'd be like, oh, so he's dropped Henderson and brought another centre-back in. It's not that drastic. Then when you see how I'm planning on doing it, oh, it's drastic. But I think needs must. I'm genuinely worried I might be in danger of getting the sack. So we're trying something ridiculous that might just work. The media have been on your backs lately. Yeah, they have. Let's sort that out. We're down in 15th place, but Southport, just like Leamington before them, bottom of the league. We played a sensible system against Leamington and lost against them. So we're playing against the team bottom of the league again, this time at home. Let's try and outplay them. We're supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. Let's prove it. Payne now, taking a corner. Gash heads down. There's absolutely nobody there. Obviously, with the new system, I don't have any kind of set-piece instructions on, so they're going to be a little bit of a mess today. If the system works, I'll worry about set-piece instructions further down the line. I do suspect this might be a one-and-done tactic, though, if we look terrible against Southport. But Watkins, taking his time, plays it out to Macaulay. Look at this, we're knocking the ball around. We're playing the ball through our midfield. Who knew we had a midfield? Aaron Sibia. I talked about how he looks like one of the star men. Show it. Kenyon, supposed to be great. Show it. Beats his man. Cross comes in. Jones is there. It's a cross from one wing back to the other, and a cartwheel from Aaron Jones. Aaron, I feel like cartwheeling too, you wonderful human being. The system works. Kev's a genius. We're going to ticky-tacker our way to the Premier League. Oh my word! It's the tactic of FM20, everybody. Right home, tell your kids, ticky-tacker. It's the route to success. End this game now so I don't look like an idiot by getting excited and then losing. Right, Kenyon with the throw. Aaron Sibia's come all the way back there and then tried an audacious pass over the top for Gash to chase, which obviously he's got nowhere near. And now Southport just doing it the non-league way, getting in behind our very static-looking defenders and thwacking the ball really hard. And they've still got the ball. Now, can we take the ball off them, please? We're supposed to be playing like Manchester United. That was all the team talk was. The lads were confused. I was just ranting about this computer game that I play where I've got Man United using this tactic and it works really well. And none of them knew what I was talking about. And it shows there because it's now 1-1 and the defence was a little bit all over the place here. Smith, our best centre-back, pulled really, really wide, basically playing at right back there. And when the cross actually comes in, our deepest player is Aaron Sibia, the number 11, who dropped back between the remaining two centre-backs. That's not really how it's supposed to work. Payne now with Adam Marriott scored. Huzzah! We've found a system that to be fair, it's a header from a corner. So it's not anything really special, but it's our best player, supposedly, Alfie Payne, with the corner, getting the assist, and the guy who's supposed to be the top scorer in the league getting the goal. So even though it's just from a set piece and doesn't really say a lot about the tactic, it's nice to see those two combining. I don't think I've seen them in the same highlight so far in the entire series. Right, guard against complacency. But with that being said, I'm not going to change the system because the system at the moment is working. We've had 62% possession. We've created far more chances than them. We're playing quite well. Kenyon now to Payne. Payne all the way back to Smith. Because one of the things about a system like Tiki-Taka is it works really well if your players are better than the opposition. And although we've got some gaping weaknesses in our squad, what a goal from Jake Kenyon. Just getting him further forward has made a difference today. A goal and an assist. He has got a new lease of life playing as a wing back. Don't ever show me him playing as a left back again. He is a wing back. But what I was trying to say is, although we have got some big weaknesses in the squad that we still need to work on, the fact that we were pre-season predictions for second in the league suggests we've got some very good players. You saw that we had two players in the media Dream 11, Kenyon and Payne amongst them, they were the two, but neither of them have put in a performance yet this season until today. And I know you got to take it with a pinch of salt because Southport are bottom of the league, but we've got performances out of our two best players today, and that's huge. Our two best players and the guy who's supposed to be scoring all our goals. The one iffy part is that Aaron Sibia hasn't really played well today, but Henderson can come on in that role, and we'll just stick him in there. Perhaps Aaron Sibia just doesn't want to be a shadow striker. Perhaps we'll try him doing something different next time. Gash hasn't really suited this system either. He wants to play as a target man and has been a little bit lost by it all. But we've got Danaher there, who he might thrive in a system like this. Watkins now. Big ball forward, looking for Marriott and finds him. It's back to Aaron Sibia again, who is still on the pitch. Substitutions haven't gone through yet. And it would be very pleasant if we could if we could grab another goal. I'd like a convincing win today. I'd like to be able to calm down a little bit. Watkins again, this time finds Fryatt. Look at us playing the ball out from the back with our back three and our wing backs. I feel so fancy. Smith now, look, he's close to being an overlapping centre-back there. Marriott is in again, but it's straight at the keeper. And let's not worry. Let's continue to take the positives because we're 3-1 up. I'm going to drop some praise. I've been quite harsh to these players recently, so let's praise them. It feels like there was a free kick there that we didn't get to see the highlight for. And for my final trick, I'm going to bring on Ross Barrows for Macaulay, who's really a right back, so we'll stick him there. And I think if we're going to be doing this 3 at the back long term... Oh, here is the 10 minutes later, we get the highlight for the free kick. It must be a different free kick, but it is Barrows to take. Is he a free kick specialist? I tell you what, substitution genius over here. Young Ross Barrows, our reserve right back, on his debut, comes on playing out of position, inexplicably is given a free kick because I haven't got set piece takers set up on the new tactic, and he's only gone and scored it, and it's 4-1 to Kings Lynn. I thought the tiki-taka 3 at the back thing was going to be a joke. We're playing in the National League North. We can't use a tiki-taka. That's, quite frankly, at this level, hideous. What a goal. What a goal. Let's stop my monologue for a minute and just have a look at the reverse angle of this. I think our keeper is caught a little bit by surprise here because he had no right to expect a first-time shot from there. But what a goal. Hopefully that's not the start of a comeback. Do we go to... If we similar to how we had 3 variants of 4-4-2 set up, if we're now fully committing to this based on one game against the worst team in the division, we need other options for 5-3-2 set up so that we have a more defensive version that we can drop back to in situations like this, where they are clearly coming at us, and with a couple of minutes left, this guy's in again, and he's a danger. He might be worth a little bit of scouting. And when I say might be worth a little bit of scouting, I mean I'm definitely going to ask for a scout report from him. People always ask, Kev, with your rules for Non-League to Legend, if someone plays well against you, can you get a scout report? Yes, you definitely can. And I will be getting a scout report on him because he's ridiculous. And I thought Danaher had scored, which would have been even more ridiculous if we'd have made it to 5. But this guy, Thomas Asante, get scout report. But we've won a game. We've won an actual football match using a crazy tactic that we never should have experimented with. And we end the episode still in a really poor position, still 13th in the league. But importantly, only 2 points outside of the playoffs. And if we just remind ourselves on Club Vision, they're just looking for us to finish top half this season. It's the media who were expecting a second place. The board are looking for a top half finish. And I think that's more realistic. And we're not a million miles away from that. If we can finish 9th, 10th this year, but start putting together a squad that can do a playoff push next year, then we're completely in line with Club Vision, because that's what they want. So that's what we shall attempt to achieve, and we'll pretend the media doesn't exist. Right, as promised, we're going to be back in the next episode for our derby, our big rivals match against Boston. So we'll do Boston and Blythe tomorrow, and fingers crossed tomorrow we might be able to bring the Manchester United series back as well for those of you who are missing that. And presumably I'm going to start taking stuff from Kings Lynn over there as well. If it works for Kings Lynn, it'll work for Man United. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Remember, trying to get to 1,000 likes an episode because it makes me happy. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.